Welcome to your Macon-Bibb Beat, your one-stop shop for all your Macon-Bibb County news. I'm Lori Johnson. Each week we take you through what's happening in your neighborhood, from North Macon to South Bibb and everywhere in between. A Macon mom says her SNAP benefits were drained, leaving her without food money for the month. Now she says she has to turn to food banks and family and is warning others to protect their funds.
And when I saw zero balance, I can't do nothing. Can't do nothing.
Stolen SNAP benefits have been a consistent problem in Central Georgia. In May, we told you more than $23 million have been reported stolen by about 30,000 callers. That's on top of the $13 million that was previously reimbursed to Georgia families. And in August, the Secret Service launched a statewide operation focusing on pulling illegal card skimmers off machines across the state. The Better Business Bureau says that's possibly how someone stole Devetta Hardy's information. Olivia Dunn sat down with her and explains how you can protect your information.
Devetta Hardy is a working mother who's used SNAP for about a decade. She says this month she checked her account the day her benefits were issued and discovered a $0 balance.
I was devastated because I'm like all the way in Philadelphia. Like, how do you have my card number? The PIN number.
Hardy says she is vigilant with her EBT card and even locks it every month immediately after she receives her benefits. But on December 7th, she woke up to find the $309 she received that morning gone, spent at stores hundreds of miles away in Philadelphia.
I had things that I wanted to do with my benefits. And not having my benefits, I'm like, what I'm gonna do?
Hardy says she relies on those benefits to take care of herself and her son with autism, who requires a special diet. Now she's turning to food pantries and family to get by. And now that DHS has stopped reimbursing stolen SNAP benefits, she's also warning others to stay vigilant.
Keep your information up to date. Don't share your card number, your PIN number, none of that. And watch where you use it online.
The criminals, they find a way around it.
Vice President of the Better Business Bureau of Central Georgia, Jason Blankenship, says EBT cards need the same protection as debit cards. He advises monitoring your accounts, changing passwords and PINs often, and warns against scammers.
If somebody calls and say they're going to increase benefits, or, maybe there's some type of sweepstakes or something going on, if it sounds too good to be true, it is.
The Better Business Bureau says they cannot help anyone with their SNAP benefits, and instead people should reach out to the Division of Family and Children's Services for assistance. Reporting in Macon, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
To report claims of SNAP scams, you can reach out to the Office of the Inspector General or call 877-423-4746. A jury convicted a Macon man for a 2021 shooting on Eisenhower Parkway. 23-year-old Quatavis Simmons was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility for parole. For the killing of 46-year-old Harriet Patrick. Prosecutors say Simmons mistook Patrick's car for someone else's. After the shooting, Patrick drove home to meet first responders, but died in the hospital 10 days later. Prosecutors say Patrick was a loving wife, mother, veteran, and a breast cancer survivor. A statewide push to combat opioid overdoses means Narcan is coming to more than 2,000 schools statewide. The medication can temporarily reverse the effects of an opioid overdose and restore breathing. Some schools may get their first Narcan kit, while some districts, like Bibb County, are already prepared. Naomi Washington shares how.
It comes with 2 nasal sprays. This is actually what it looks like when you open it. This is a demo training kit.
More Narcan is on its way to more than 2,300 Georgia schools. The Atrium Schoolhouse Health Coordinator for Bibb County, Ashley Newberry, says it's about keeping students and anyone on campus safe.
It could occur anywhere with anyone. So it's just not for students. It could be for anybody on the campus.
Opioid overdoses continue to rise after Wesley's law passed in 2024. DPHDD Commissioner Kevin Tanner says making Narcan available in schools became a state priority.
From 2010 to 2022, we saw a 302% increase in the number of opioid overdose deaths in the state of Georgia.
Each kit includes a barcode so schools can let the state know when they've used a dose and need a replacement. Some parents may wonder why overdose medication is needed in schools. What do you want them to understand?
That a lot of us and a lot of people don't realize is, number one, the place that most people get addicted to opioids is in their own medicine cabinet. So it's important to understand, if you have unused medication, you need to dispose of that properly.
Tanner also says some people will take medicine not knowing it contains fentanyl.
They may take medicine from a friend thinking they're taking something for their headache, or taking something for their anxiety, or taking something to help them study.
That kind of mistake could lead to an overdose. Newberry says a school nurse will most likely handle a situation like this, but any staff member can administer Narcan.
Every year we do a medical alert training for all staff in the school building, and that includes Narcan training.
With more kids coming, schools will soon have even more resources to respond in a critical moment.
Commissioner Tanner says the state is working on getting kits from this initiative to all 2,300 schools between now and early next year. He says the state will replenish each school supply when someone scans the barcode notifying them the Narcan is used or when they expire. Around your community, one rabbi says he and his community are standing strong while celebrating Hanukkah. Rabbi Ham Markovitz of Chabad of rural Georgia hosted a Hanukkah celebration at the Monroe County Courthouse this week. He says he's choosing to spread light despite the tragedy in Sydney, Australia, where dozens were killed in an ambush. Olivia Dunn talked with Markovitz, who says these attacks hit him close to home.
Rabbi Chaim Markovitz is still in disbelief following that deadly attack on his home city. But on the second night of Hanukkah, he says he's standing strong.
And I was really taken aback, like crying, afraid kind of thing. And then the news started coming out and I was in shock.
Rabbi Markovitz's parents go to Sydney's Hanukkah event almost every year. They decided not to go to this year's, a day of celebration that turned into an attack, leaving 15 people dead, including 2 rabbis Markovitz knew personally. But even after a massive tragedy, he wants this Hanukkah to spread positivity and light across central Georgia and the world.
And our message has to be one of light, one of happiness. And this is the message of the menorah as well. We add more light. Another candle, another day, more light, more goodness, more kindness for every person.
Markovitz and Chabad of rural Georgia led dozens of supporters, Jewish and non-Jewish, at the Monroe Courthouse to light the menorah and celebrate the second night of Hanukkah, and share dancing, prayer, and food. Even after a weekend shadowed by violence, Markovitz says the community will continue to spread hope.
It's a message that I can make more light, I can make more goodness in my space.
And Chabad of rural Georgia says they're hosting more menorah lightings across the state this week. Reporting in Monroe County, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
For more information on Chabad of rural Georgia's menorah lighting this week, you can visit chabadruralgeorgia.com. Veterans in Macon could soon see another option for health care. The Macon-Bibb County Urban Development Authority met with a developer who's looking to snag over 20 acres on Emory Highway. This comes as the Dublin Carl Vinson Medical Center faces overcrowding and outdated equipment. Alex Morrison, executive director of the Development Authority, says they've been looking for development that would truly benefit the community. He calls this a landmark project with a long-term impact, bringing high-paying jobs and more opportunities for the Macon community.
Having it be a use that is very compatible with the existing uses over there, as well as a single user that would bring a lot of jobs into the area, it really is a perfect fit for all of our plans because it's a large employer that would have great interstate frontage, that would be easy access.
Morrison says they are confident the East Macon site will be the most competitive with a new developer and new location now in play. That request would kick off a 2 to 3 month selection process. 3 years ago, the Department of Veterans Affairs released a report on the Dublin VA Center, calling the center old, crowded, and outdated. And just 7 months ago, a report found the Dublin VA repeatedly put patient safety at risk, failing to properly clean medical equipment. Some Macon businesses say homelessness is still hurting downtown, impacting customers. They're calling for more action. Meanwhile, Macon-Bibb is explaining their outreach approach and their efforts to combat the problem. Olivia Dunn breaks down the city's approach and what some local business people say they're still saying.
Hazma Wowda has been the manager of JJ's on Spring Street since it opened about 4 years ago. He says homelessness has been a persistent problem.
This area is pretty known for having homeless people, like even on the reviews online for our store. You'll see like 2 or 3 reviews about the homeless population here.
Across from JJ's on Spring Street sits this structure. About a mile away on Walnut Street, this small camp. Wowda says these aren't uncommon sights near his restaurant or near the downtown area.
It makes the whole area look dirty, like not only our business, but like every business in the area just makes the whole area look unclean.
It's the price of doing business down here.
Jeremy Kaiser works at Total Engineers near the site of Mercer's future medical school, where crews cleared a homeless encampment in August. He says he's experienced issues too, and says he's called the sheriff's office in the past for safety concerns.
A guy that owns a business should be able to run his business without homeless people scaring off all their customers.
Both Kaiser and Wowda agree the city could do more.
I honestly don't think code enforcement is doing like a good enough job. Like I see 4 or 5 code enforcement officers a day just like come by and see all the trash back there, and they just won't do anything about it.
Jake Hall works with the county to provide outreach to the homeless. He says outreach is the first step. Then code enforcement gets involved if an encampment poses a threat to public health or safety.
Yeah, it is a complex issue that requires a lot of different hands all across the housing spectrum for it to work properly.
He says his team is aware of these groups near the downtown area. The goal is to get them to more stable housing. They do weekly outreach to get people on the streets to services like the Brookdale Resource Center or Salvation Army. However, he says people must also accept that help.
So if someone tells you no, the best that you can do is to build that connection to them, to keep them from dying on your streets, but to make sure that they have the pathway and access that they need to get to care.
We also reached out to a spokesperson for Mercer who told us right now they aren't concerned about this issue affecting their future medical school. Reporting in Macon, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
A county spokesperson says this outreach strategy is how Macon-Bibb plans to keep tackling homelessness. Macon's Planning and Zoning Board cleared the way for new development across the county. Commissioners approved a new Five Guys drive-through on Riverside Drive, right next to the future Raising Cane's. The board also greenlit a new downtown nightclub called Nirvana, pending a sound study. Meanwhile, the board pushed back a vote on a Fatty's Pizza drive-through plan to their January meeting. And there will be new legal organ for Bibb County in 2026. The Macon Reporter newspaper will replace the Macon Telegraph as Bibb County's legal organ. That means the way you get legal notices is changing. Starting in the new year, if you change your name, file for divorce, probate and estate, or start a business, among other legal processes, you'll have to buy a legal ad in the Macon Reporter, making the title value for any paper. County leaders pushed for the switch earlier this year, citing billing issues and difficulty reaching people at the Telegraph. Historic Macon is looking for a new leader. Executive Director Nathan Lott is stepping down at the end of the month, 2 years into his tenure. Lott says he's proud of what the foundation has accomplished during his time and is glad to know he's leaving the organization in good hands. The foundation says the search for a new leader will begin right away. Vicki Hertwig has been named interim executive director until the search concludes. At the Macon City Auditorium, officials are preparing for former Vice President Kamala Harris to visit. The former presidential candidate announced she is coming to Macon. The visit is part of her national book tour. The book is called 107 Days and focuses on her 2024 presidential campaign. The event will be on February 11th. Tickets are already on sale. There's new resources in Macon for adult education students. Joanna's Closet is officially open, helping adult students step into the workforce with more confidence.
We have a professional closet to help any student that wants to prepare for job interviews, for their career pathways. That's what we are doing in partnership.
Bibb County Schools and Central Georgia Technical College celebrated the opening of Joanna's Closet at Hutchings College and Career Academy. And the closet provides professional clothing for interviews and job readiness. The closet is named after Joanna Summerow, a longtime educator whose legacy continues to impact students to this day. We now have the full list of individuals running in a special election to fill a Senate seat in District 18. The 6 names are in the mix, including former Forsyth Mayor Eric Wilson. He's facing 4 other Republicans, Nathan Warnock, Stephen McNeil, Lauren Daniel, and Howard Allison, and the sole Democrat, Lamario Brown. If you plan to vote in this election, you need to register by December 22nd if you aren't already a registered voter. Early voting begins December 29th, and Election Day is set for January 20th. District 18 represents Monroe, Crawford, and Peach counties, along with parts of Bibb and Houston counties. As we enter the winter season, warming centers across Macon are preparing for some of the coldest nights. Ellie Milliken takes a look at how the Salvation Army is lending a helping hand in our community.
It's getting warmer outside Macon's Salvation Army Warming Center, but earlier Wednesday, people were staying inside away from the cold. The Salvation Army serves 2 meals and gives people a place to stay in their warming center on Broadway. Owaki Levette says this has become more than just a place to sleep.
Friday night, I slept on the street. Friday night, I slept down at the bus station because I ain't know about this place until Saturday morning. And I Googled it and I came up here.
He came up here last Thursday from Warner Robins, where he was staying at the Community Outreach Services Center. With unemployment running out and no transportation, he says he's been trying to get back on his feet. But the cold snap quickly became dangerous.
Great. I mean, I probably wouldn't even be alive if it was cold as it been. Since Friday night. Well, yeah, Friday night, that's when I spend the night. But Saturday, Sunday, ever since Saturday, I've been here at the shelter.
Inside the Salvation Army, dozens of cots fill the room. Families, single women, and men like Levette arrive each evening for a hot meal, showers, and a warm place to rest. Social Services Director Latricia White and her team do the work of turning these rooms into temporary shelters.
So we don't want to turn anyone away. So we also transform our conference room and we put cots in there as well.
White says the need for shelters is growing, fueled by job loss, the economy, and mental health struggles. And with cold nights ahead, she expects even more people looking for warmth.
The situation could happen to anyone. It's him today, it could be me tomorrow.
For people like Levette, the warmth inside these walls isn't just physical, it's hope. In Macon, Ellie Milliken, 13 WMAZ News.
The Salvation Army says warming centers will remain open through the cold spell. A total of 30 people can stay at the Salvation Army, and they are asking for donations to help people in need. Major shakeup in the college football world. Mercer University announced head coach Mike Jacobs is stepping down to take the head job at Toledo. During his time in Macon, he's led the team to back-to-back Southern Conference titles. The 2024 championship was the first ever for the Bears. The team went undefeated in conference play, and the Bears also hosted a second-round playoff game this season. Coach Jacobs is from Ohio, so this is sort of a homecoming for him. Meanwhile, the school has already tapped a new leader. Joel Taylor is the next coach to lead the Bears. It's not his first time in the orange and black. Taylor served as the defensive coordinator from 2020 to 2023, and he most recently led the West Georgia Wolves as head coach. The Wolves put up a 8-3 overall record last season. When asked about the coaching search, Athletic Director Jim Cole told us defense was one of their main priorities.
Football is a physical game, and you have to win the line of scrimmage. So we're going to play good defense, run the football, and rush the passer. So those are kind of my three qualities.
Cecily Stout sat down with Taylor on how he plans to move the program forward.
Bobby Lamb started the program in a sense, got it back going. Coach Cronick kind of took the battalion, and he was a second leg and kind of changed the program, and I was a part of that, which was awesome, and got a chance to meet a lot of good people. I think I love the city. And then Coach Jacobs comes in, takes the third baton, right? Now I'm going to come in and take the fourth baton and hopefully take us to another level. And that was the biggest reason. That was pretty much the only reason, was to have a chance to go deep in the playoffs, win a national championship, things of that nature. And ever since I've been a young coach, I've always started every year, the top goal was national championship. You know, even though we didn't have a good team, but that was the goal. We always wanted to strive towards that, and I think it gives me an opportunity here to do that.
Hear much more, including Coach Taylor's favorite restaurant in Macon and his pet peeves in the full interview. It's on our website, 13WMAZ.com. Just look for this story under the Sports tab. Holiday season is a lot busier this year, with the National Retail Federation saying it's expecting holiday sales to surpass $1 trillion for the first time ever. That means Central Georgia retailers might see more customers in their doors. Madison Ricks spoke to a couple of businesses who say they're preparing months. They have prepared for months for this time of year.
We take this part pretty serious.
Carol's Linens is sporting a different look.
In a normal time of the year, you would never see anything on any.
Never look like this.
Yeah, you would never see these beds look like that.
A look they've had this holiday season as more orders continue to fly in.
We always say we're going to keep count. We always lose count. I think we can't count. We can't count that high.
Account Carol Kaplan has no problem handling. She's welcomed in customers for 48 years, so she says they're happy to fill any order they get.
Whatever we can do to make anybody's gift giving easier and more meaningful is what we want to do.
And she's not the only business in town feeling the rush of Christmas.
Here's some fun items that have been really popular this year for Christmas. These have been great. They're good in a playroom, kids' room, so this has been super popular.
Previews Interiors and Antiques has been tucked in this corner of Iveville Crossing for over 20 years, so they've seen many items leave their shelves and into gift boxes.
Every year, Sally orders more and more Christmas decorations, and we think we have enough, and then as soon as open house comes, and then everybody sees what everybody's buying, then we almost sell out, and then have to try to scramble to get more items in.
Items they stock months in advance to prepare for this time of the year, and Kaplan hopes that once the busy holiday rush ends, they'll come back.
People come in at Christmas and they do see how exciting the gifts are. So when they need a birthday gift or a housewarming gift, they know they can come here for that as well.
Reporting in Macon, Madison Ricks, 13 WMAZ News.
A Macon woman and Jones County man are sharing how an act of kindness led to an unexpected friendship. Over a year and a half ago, the man said he took a chance when accepting a random ride to work from a woman who said she stopped because she recognized him from the grocery store where she shopped. Olivia Dunn shows us how it all unfolded in a story that comes straight from the heart.
We've all complained about a long commute, but Keith Tidwell might have you beat. After finishing his night shift at this Kroger in Macon, he'd walk about an hour and 45 minutes to get home. But that all changed about a year and a half ago.
See you later, Keith.
Keith Tidwell and Debbie Roden say they first met in the produce section at Kroger. They didn't speak much or even know each other's names until Roden saw Tidwell making his nearly 5-mile walk to work along Gray Highway and decided to stop.
And I said, that looked like the young guy that works at Kroger. So I turned around, went back and got him.
Tidwell says walking or biking is the only way he can get to and from work, and it's often a dark and dangerous trip coming home.
I mean, I don't really know her that much, but I decided to take a chance.
That was nearly a year and a half ago, and now Roden picks Tidwell up several times a week. But Tidwell wasn't the only one in need of a pickup. Roden says her son Carlos passed away a few months before she offered Keith that first ride. She says her son loved helping others and says she can feel Carlos in this act of kindness.
I think he would have wanted me to pick him up and take him to work, especially when he know how far he have to walk at night.
Now, a year and a half later, the carpool is a routine. Tidwell says he feels safer, and the relationship has grown from strangers to friends.
It's pretty nice. I mean, she's nice to me. And I mean, I learned that she has a brother.
Roden says she's grateful she pulled the car over that day and says she had no hesitation letting a stranger into her car and her life.
I was not nervous at all because I felt like I was doing a good thing, taking him to work, get him to work safe. So, hey, I wasn't nervous.
And the two say they plan to keep this carpool going for as long as they can. Reporting in Macon, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
Oh, that's a great story. Tidwell says he's working on earning his driver's license to be able to get himself to and from work, but says the two will stay in touch no matter who's driving. That's the final note in this week's edition of the Macon-Bibb Beat. If you have a Macon-Bibb County story you want us to share, email us at news@13wmaz.com. And make sure you come back each Wednesday to get all of the news and stories that matter to you. Thank you for joining us for your Macon-Bibb Beat.